a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia. This is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we have wonderful guests. And my wonderful guest today is Frank Stapleton. And we're going to talk about toxic chemicals in our clothing. Let me bring Frank on. Hi, Frank.
Hello, Gail.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm so excited to be here. I believe it's my third time, and I tell you, I'm so excited.
Yes, and this is, I don't know if we want to start out with showing, I have a little clip. It is 14 minutes long, but it talks about the toxic nature of our clothing, and our skin covers a large percentage of our body, obviously. And so if all the clothes that we're putting on next to our body, it's able to absorb all that, that's pretty terrible. And they're finding, wait till you hear some of the amounts of lead that they find in some pieces of clothing, even toddlers' clothing. So,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's very upsetting, actually. So let me share that, and we'll do that, and then we'll talk some more of a solution for that problem.
Amen.
Okay, here we go. Let me make this bigger. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Charlotte P. I'm the Labor Justice Campaigns Director with Green America. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about our campaign, Toxic Textiles, the harmful chemicals hiding in our clothes. So to start off, I wanted to talk a little bit about the fashion industry as a whole. So the fashion industry takes a huge toll on people on the planet. 10% of global carbon emissions come from the fashion industry. Textile manufacturing accounts for 20% of industrial water pollution. And there's a huge amount of wasted clothing. Between 2000 and 2015, clothing production almost doubled from about 50 billion units per year to over 100 billion units per year. During that same time, the amount of clothing that Americans dispose of annually has almost tripled. On average, Americans dispose of 70 pounds of clothing a year. So what happens to all that clothing we dispose of? The EPA reports that Americans generate 16 million tons of textile waste a year. On average, 700,000 tons of used clothing gets exported overseas. 2.5 million tons of clothing is recycled, but over 3 million tons are incinerated, and a staggering 10 million tons get sent to landfills. So what's that percent breakdown look like? About 62% of clothing gets sent to landfills, and another 18% is incinerated, and a measly 14% actually gets recycled. But why did we choose to focus on toxic textiles? The apparel industry uses 43 million tons of chemicals every year. In addition to this, the apparel industry uses 8,000 different chemicals to manufacture clothing. So we're asking for fashion companies to move away from the most dangerous chemicals and to be more transparent about what chemicals are present in clothing and more transparent about how clothing is made. So this issue impacts both workers and consumers. There are several contact points for chemical exposure. This isn't an exhaustive list, but just wanted to give you a few examples. For raw materials, if you look at cotton, for example, conventional cotton uses a huge amount of pesticides. These pesticides can cause long-term health problems for those working in cotton fields and in the surrounding communities. For manufacturing, workers are exposed to toxic chemicals that are used to treat clothing. If not properly disposed of, these chemicals can poison surrounding communities. And in the final product, consumers can be exposed to residual chemicals that are present in the clothing that you purchase in stores or buy online. So what are some of these chemicals of concern and what are their potential health impacts? So PFCs, these are used to make clothing waterproof and stain-proof. Azo dyes, one of the most common types of dyes used. Heavy metals, they're found in dyes and leather tanning. Formaldehyde is used to keep clothing wrinkle-free and shrink-free. Flame retardants, they're used to fireproof clothing, especially children's clothing. And some of the potential health impacts from chemical exposure to these chemicals consist of liver damage, disruption of the hormone functions, carcinogens that can lead to cancer, damage to the nervous system, and respiratory irritation. So I wanted to talk about garment workers as a whole a little bit. More than 70 million people worldwide are employed by the fashion industry, and 85% of these people are women. Globally, there are 170 million children engaged in child labor, with many making clothing. In a recent survey conducted by the Clean Clothes Campaign, 93% of apparel brands surveyed are not paying a living wage. So they're not even paying the basic amount of money someone needs to cover cost of living. And in some cases, workers make as little as 15 cents an hour. Now let's look at global worker exposure to toxic chemicals. Occupational diseases kill one worker every 30 seconds. 80% of deaths from unsafe working conditions are a result of occupational disease. 50% of occupational diseases can be attributed to chemical exposure. And if you look at surrounding communities, if chemicals are not properly disposed of, those communities are at risk, including children that live there or families that live there. And in addition, some waterways near garment manufacturing facilities have become so polluted that they no longer sustain life. So how does all of this impact your health? The chemicals used in clothing manufacturing pollute local waterways and communities, like I mentioned on the last slide. Some chemicals used are called persistent chemicals. This means once the chemicals enter the environment, instead of breaking down, the chemical lingers. Persistent chemicals can travel long distances, so those chemicals that are not properly disposed of on the other side of the world could be tainting your resources too. And additionally, some chemicals remain present in the final product, so you and your loved ones can also be exposed to harmful chemicals used in clothing manufacturing. So in 2019, Green America analyzed the environmental and social practices of major US apparel companies. We looked at things like alternative resources usage, chemical management, if they share a factory list, factory safety, water management, and waste and recycling. Some of the companies that came out on the top were Target, VF, which owns North Face, and Nike. And one of the companies that came out at the bottom is Carter's, which also owns Oshkosh B'gosh and has lines of clothing for major online retailers like Target, Walmart, and Amazon. Came out at the bottom. Carter's is the largest US retailer of children's clothing. So when you look at some of the potential risks for children, it's particularly important they step up their chemical management. So what are some of the impacts on children that are exposed to toxic chemicals? Children are more susceptible to the health impacts of harmful chemical exposure. Children are still developing and engage with their environment differently than adults. Children are less able to flush toxic chemicals out of their body. When comparing exposure to body weight, Children take in more water, food, and air per pound than adults. So air pollution, tainted resources, and exposure to toxic chemicals can cause more problems for children than adults. So there is good news. There is a lot you can do to help reform the industry. So first of all, you can shop less. This is the most sustainable thing you can do. Second, you can shop secondhand, or if it feels comfortable and safe for you, organize and attend clothing swaps. 3, we recognize that you may still need to buy new clothing sometimes. So you can look for things like, you can look at Green America's Green Business Network members. These are small businesses that prioritize people on the planet. We have several great apparel companies on there. You can look for sustainability certifications like Okotex, GOTS, or Fair Trade. And while certifications are not aren't perfect, they are helpful, and they also indicate that you're willing to, that there is a demand for.
I think the rest is more what you can do as a community and that kind of thing. And so I'm going to shut it off at that point because there is another one that has shows a few things too. I'm just going to show that real quick too, and then we can. I was surprised when I looked this up how many chemicals there are and how saturated clothing and certain items are. So let me show you this one other site, and that is this one. And so the hidden chemicals in your clothes and how to detox your wardrobe. You may be eating organically, but if your body is touching clothing that's full of chemicals, it certainly isn't helping any. And like the other show said, there's over 8,000 synthetic chemicals that are commonly used to produce clothes. Many of these are endocrine and hormone disruptors. So that tells you a lot too about what's going on sometimes with all this transgender thing. So, but anyway, here's some of the chemicals that there's: formaldehyde, pesticides, those PFAS. Those are known as forever chemicals. You can't get rid of them. However, I do have a way to get rid of them, but at least that's been being measured. But here's some of the other ones. And heavy metals, of course, we've known all along that that's a problem. But there's one part in here where I want to show you. There's a little purse that you buy for children. And, oh shoot, where'd it go? Anyway, let me see if I can find it on. I thought it was in here where they. Well, I'm not finding it at the moment. So, shoot, I thought I had that page already open. But anyway, there's a lot of information out there if you care to take a look. And it's amazing how many, how toxic our clothing are. There are sites that you can go to where you can actually buy non-toxic clothing. But at this point too, I'd like to mention that hemp is even a much better choice in material than cotton is. But anyway, that being said, how are we going to get these chemicals out of our clothing? What do you think?
Wow.
What do you think, Frank?
Wow, it's amazing. A study was done, Gail, back in 1999, and it indicated that to get rid of the toxic chemicals in our world today, it's gonna cost over $500 billion, and this was back in 1999. And now we see how the clothing industry is a big factor in manufacturing these clothing with all the toxic chemicals. things that we wear every day. You know, we wear these things every day. We sweat, and all this stuff gets in at the cellular level. No wonder there's so much obesity and cancer in our world today. You know, sad to say, Gail, I didn't know this up until last Friday. I have a Rottweiler female dog. She was about 4 years old, and she got very, very sick, and her and all kind of stuff. And it wasn't the surgery. What we found out, Gail, that
Just poisoned.
that she ate grapes, grapes,
Oh,
grapes. And the reason why I knew that is because when she threw up, grapes came out, and grapes is toxic to a pet.
isn't that amazing? Yeah, dogs can't eat grapes or raisins. Yeah, I
Yeah,
found that out too, like last year, and I was just shocked because I had no idea.
yeah.
But that's amazing.
And that was her problem all along. But they went and did surgery on the dog. She never really got consciousness and woke up from it. And we brought her back from the vet around about 4 o'clock that Thursday, and about 11 o'clock that Thursday night, she took her last breath. Something,
Oh,
something, yeah, it broke her heart. Beautiful Rottweiler female dog, just gorgeous, gorgeous dog. And when I thought about that, what about what about what we take in every day, what we wear? How is it toxic to us?
well,
And slowly it breaks down the body. It breaks you down. And just last year in New York, they banned a major brand. They couldn't sell that brand nowhere in the state of New York, okay, because they discovered that it contribute to cancer and obesity. And we wash our clothes with this stuff, you know. And and,
that's
and
yeah, and that's a big problem because people don't expect their clothes to be a problem too.
wow, I mean, stuff we wear every day. I don't ever see a person walking around with no clothes on, you know, unless you're in your home. But for the most part, people wear clothes all the time.
Time.
So if you're going to wear the clothing, make sure that you is as toxic free as possible, because you sweat at night. You know, and when you go to bed, you put your pillowcase sheets on the bed. Your body sweats. What's inside the sheets and pillowcases gets in the body. Over time, it breaks you down. When you put your clothes on during the day, your underwear, t-shirts, or blouses, or whatever, when you sweat, what's inside the clothing gets into the body. It's a slow death. And there are some products that's been banned in some countries, okay, where you can't use them. There are some products where the EPA say, hey, these are pesticides, these are toxic chemicals. But we buy the products every day, wash our clothes with them, wash our dishes with them, and it causes all kind of health problems. And
It does, and you don't know where it came from or why. It's just that we have been exposed to so many chemicals. We're breathing it in the air. How many chemicals are coming down, nano-sized particles in the air that we're breathing that in? Then we're in our homes using toxic cleaning products, toxic laundry products. It just seems like we get hit from every direction with some kind of poison. And our
yes, and some go ahead.
I was just gonna say our bodies are miraculous that they deal with it as well as they do. I mean, after a point, it gets to be so much overload that it starts causing issues, and we don't. It's really hard to pinpoint it, you know. So go ahead.
And I forgot, Gail, how many cells we have in the body. We have trillions of cells in the body, but when it gets to a point where you just keep putting breathing the same thing, wearing the same clothing, being in the bad environment, it slowly breaks the body down. It breaks it down. Then disease, obesity, cancer all begin to set in. And then you have to end up, going through all the unnecessary stuff, your final days. But the good news is there's a solution to the problem. There's a problem. Yes, there's a problem. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a $500 billion problem that we have. And we see that the clothing industry contributes to a lot of the toxic chemicals that we have in our world today. And the experts are saying it's going to take about 50 years to get rid of all the toxins if we start doing things right today. That was back in 1999. Here it is, 2024. It's still going to take another 30 years. And each American has to pay $2,000 of their fair share to get rid of these toxins. So we want to be a solution to the problem, not keep buying these toxic chemicals that we use in our bathrooms. We wash our clothing with it. We wash our dishes with it. All that goes in our wastewater. And look, it's nothing but chemicals. And they got to try to clean it up the best way they can, send it back to your home. And oftentimes you smell chlorine and bleach coming back into your home.
I'm just upset I can't find that one page that I wanted to show you, because it certain clothes in particular, especially if they're coated like with flame retardant, or they're that polyester stuff, or that kind of fake clothing, but synthetic, let me put it that way. Those are the worst. Those are the highest in chemicals. And there was this one it was like a little purse you might give to a child to play with or whatever. It was so full of lead, you wouldn't even want to touch it yourself. I mean, the level of lead on it was amazing. Oh, wow. Somebody has let me put this up there. This is kind of interesting. Japan has a laundry machine that cleans by ultrasonic tech. Can't be sold in the US because of the toxic laundry detergent industry, might lose profits. That kind of thing has been going on forever in our country. It's terrible. But that doesn't surprise me one bit.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, it's just like there's a lot of chemicals in our food that is banned in Europe, as an example. So one of the other things that we brought up is chelation. And that's a term that I don't know if everybody's real familiar with it, but what it does is it binds with like heavy metals. It binds with some of these chemicals. And once it binds, it can be removed in a safe manner. And so we believe that doesn't the Terra Kleen, if you would use it in your laundry, it should chelate the chemicals that are in the clothing and help remove them from the clothing.
That is exactly, Gail, what it does. There's about 7 major ingredients that's in Terra Kleen. And years ago, and we'll talk more about this product in a minute, but years ago, the government wanted to use one of the ingredients, and it's a chelation. In fact, today they do what we call chelation therapy. That's when they put the IV in the arm, it goes throughout the body, moves heavy metals and stuff. Well, one of the ingredients in this product called Terra Kleen, this product here, if you can see it, called Terra Kleen, it has a chelation effect to it, where when you wash your clothing with it, it removes those heavy toxins and heavy metals out of it. And it just binds, like you said, and just pulls it all out of there. It pulls it from the body. When you wash your clothes with it, it does the same thing. This product, Terra Kleen, it's a 30-year-old patent product invented by a man by the name of Mr. Garth Stapleton. And he invented this product, and it has been a blessing to so many people. It does so many, we call it a universal cleanser. It does so many things, but we're focusing today on the toxic waste that's in our clothing. This product, you only have to use 4 ounces of this product to a full load of clothing, just 4 ounces. It will get in there and wash your clothes, whether it's white, colors, doesn't matter. You're going to put 4 ounces of solution in there, and it'll get in there and make your clothes so beautiful, so white, so clean, so refreshing. And it has an 8.5 pH level to it. It also oxygenates all at the same time. So when you're sweating, you don't have to worry about all those toxic chemicals getting into the body. When you go to bed at night, the same thing. It's a miracle product. It really is. And one multi-billionaire offered the owner of this product $1 billion 20 years ago. And had he took that money, you probably wouldn't hear about Terra Clean today, because it cleans the environment from A through Z. It does everything. It's a universal cleanser. So
And it's all organic and biodegradable, right?
100% organic and biodegradable. 100%. Everything in it is healthy for the environment. And we can be a solution to the problem. We can be that solution to the problem.
And that's always important, not just to point out problems, but also to have some solutions for those problems. The other thing, I think I might have found that site. If you can bear with me 1 minute, and you can explain any more there while I want to see if I can find that one site. I must have accidentally closed it when I was closing a bunch of stuff down. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of those leading brands that we buy every day. I mean, on television, it looks good. They talk about what they can do, and it does clean. But the residue and the toxicity that it leaves behind is just out of this world. It's really bad. And we have a website you can go to from the EPA, and it explains what's in the product and what it does to the body. And these are products we buy every day. We clean with them. We spray it in our home with it. We do the insets and wash our clothes with it, our dishes with it, everything with it. And it in our homes is more toxic than the air outside. It's what we use. Average household has between 10 to 15 different chemicals in our home at any given time.
Eric.
Something for yeah, you found it?
I think I found it. Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Let me, I'll just show a little bit about this because it's the one that has some of that information that I said. Who would have guessed that our clothing would be this loaded with toxic chemicals? I mean, I never even thought about that until the last couple of years, or I saw a video with an old friend of mine that was talking about hemp clothing and the differences between hemp versus, cotton. If it's not organic cotton, cotton is full of chemicals, and hemp textiles even have antimicrobial properties and antifungal properties as well. But for some reason, you still can't just find it anywhere. And let me show you this other little thing here. This is kind of surprising what I'm going to play a little bit about this.
Something stinks.
Terrible smell. I had to let it sit in the bathroom for a little while.
What's really lurking on those new clothes?
It's awful.
That wouldn't even cross my mind in a million years.
Out the bag.
This is a dangerous piece of clothing.
Ultra fast fashion giants put to the test.
Why, Miriam, are companies still using these chemicals?
It's cheap.
Why are we letting this stuff in? Why aren't we making it here?
This is your marketplace.
This is cute. Hooded raincoat, waterproof.
We're hunting for deals online.
Ooh, my bathing suit's on sale for $11.
The clothes are cheap, but what's the real cost? We are about to show you just how toxic some of these deals can be. We're ordering dozens of items, including clothes for my toddler and me. And the stakes for me just got bigger.
Maternity PJ set and maternity denim shirt. Ships from China. Let's go through the cart.
We're taking our haul to the University of Toronto.
Oh my gosh, you've been shopping.
We sure have.
Environmental chemist Miriam Diamond and her team will test these clothes for chemicals.
We're gonna look for heavy metals, phthalates, PFAs.
Yes.
PFAs, or PFAS, and phthalates are man-made, and just like heavy metals, many can be toxic in some quantities.
What would you see if you are affected by these chemicals or these ingredients?
It's not like I was exposed to a poison and then in the next couple of hours I get really sick. It's not that kind of an immediate connection. Maybe you were exposed as a fetus, and maybe the manifestation is an alteration to the male reproductive system, decrease in IQ level.
They get right to work on our brand new, right out of the box clothes from some of the world's biggest ultra fast fashion brands.
164.6 grams. Country of manufacture was China. Raincoat. Got a few raincoats.
Our results will be ready soon, but first,
So much stuff on here. I found a shirt you might like. Would you buy that?
Camila Diaz and her friend check out Shein every single day. They get lured in by ads like this.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to our Instagram live series where we interview our Shein X designers.
And the celebrities that promote them. Ultra fast fashion sites churn out hundreds of styles daily.
Are you buying like a new thing every day?
I'll be looking every day.
If she had her way, she would be buying every day, but no.
I was literally looking over my order this morning and I was like, yes, yes.
The fast fashion industry makes billions annually in sales.
Today I'm back with a mini haul.
And they do it by selling clothes for a few dollars.
I have some of the best jeans from Shein.
Shoes under $10.
Only $9.
I believe I got this for like $10 or $15, super inexpensive.
Mom Linda is skeptical.
Very skeptical. Camilla came to me and she says, oh, I found all these great swimsuits and they're like dirt cheap.
So when their Shein haul finally arrives,
it wasn't, I would say, the best quality. So there was a bit of an I told you so moment. Not good. Not good the first time.
Okay, let's see.
The actual fabric was like way too thin.
And Camilla's not alone.
This waistband is just weird.
There are lots of people who don't get what they expect.
I'm so upset. What are those? Granny panties?
I want my
Well-
money back.
So what about our stuff?
These are supposed to be an adult medium. I don't know who those would fit. Not my particular flavor, but my nephew would love this.
We need a pro to give us the scoop on our ultra fast fashion picks.
My name is Leslie Hampton, and I'm an Indigenous artist and designer.
And winner of the Fashion Impact Award.
I'm going to move it ahead a little
PFAS
bit.
are called forever chemicals. They build up in our bodies and, over time, can show up in our blood and urine.
That wouldn't even cross my mind in a million years.
It's awful.
Definitely is concerning, the things that are not disclosed.
We're giving our kids a legacy of contaminated drinking water because of today's raincoat. Can I calculate that cost into the future? Very difficult, but I can assure you it's not covered by $13. Okay.
In fact, research shows these forever chemicals are polluting our oceans and drinking water. And they never break down.
I don't know why there's not more testing or higher standards being held for things.
Don't go away and don't buy anything. More lab reveals.
I am so alarmed.
We're searching for answers from fast fashion giants. Your marketplace gets action. Get more marketplace. Sign up for our weekly newsletter at cbc.ca/marketplace. Shocking levels of toxic chemicals in our clothes.
I'm so alarmed. I am so alarmed. We're buying what looks cute and fashionable on this incredibly short fashion cycle. That cost is not worth it.
This was a $13 bag we bought from Zaful. How troubled were you by what we found on that?
We found elevated levels of a bunch of different phthalates. The phthalates are used as a plasticizer because you see it's flexible. I know that the phthalates are endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors are a wide range of chemicals that have the ability to alter our hormone levels. Hormones, in turn, control a whole bunch of different aspects of our physiology. The phthalates in particular are known to disrupt male reproductive system.
These things can mess with your hormones, in particular for men.
Really?
And your reproductive system.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
It
Now-
would have never even crossed my mind until you just said that.
We share our findings with Health Canada and ask for an on-camera interview. They say no, but we're going to keep trying. Because Miriam keeps finding toxic chemicals in our samples. I know that people who hear this are gonna go, what?
People should be shocked. That should be the response. What are these chemicals doing in my clothes?
Like in this kid's coat from Shein.
I think this trench coat is hazardous waste.
The level of lead is almost 20 times higher than what's allowed in kids' products.
20 times. 20 times
Wow.
the amount of lead that's allowed in a children's
Lead.
How often do you see a kid chewing on their, collar?
And our skin can absorb it too.
We cover 85% of our body with clothing, just about all the time. Skin is the very active organ.
Well, it's shocking. You would never know.
Next up, this AliExpress bib.
We've got a bib. Do you know who this is? You got it!
It has elevated levels of phthalates. Though not over Health Canada's limit, Miriam is still concerned.
I'm sure a lot of parents know these are like the best because all the food just ends up in the pot and then they can pick it out and they put it right back in their mouth.
That's right. And the child is touching it and playing with it.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was concerned about the bib because of the phthalates.
And it's not just the bibs. Miriam has the same concerns with these dresses too.
What about your friend has this?
Yes. On her birthday, she wore it.
And who's this? You guys know who this is? Another one that got flagged to us by our experts.
In all, we put 6 ultra-fast fashion giants to the test. Zulily, Boohoo, and Fashion Nova's products didn't raise any red flags. But our lab test found elevated levels of PFAS, phthalates, or heavy metals in products from Zaful, AliExpress, and Shein, about 20% of our haul. So why are companies adding all these toxins and endocrine disruptors to our clothes?
Nobody has an excuse to say, well, I just don't know how to tackle it.
Joelle Mertens knows they don't need to use them at all.
We learn a lot of things about the toxicity of what we've been doing, and it comes down to, can we do it better? Once something is flagged as problematic, what are my alternatives to this?
He's with the Sustainable Apparel Coalition.
Really, if we're focused on reducing environmental impacts and harm, it really goes into the full manufacturing supply chain.
So I think, Joel, what you're saying is the manufacturers need to do a better job of checking in on how their clothes are being made.
If the only brand conversation with a manufacturer is on the price, then that's what the manufacturer is going to focus on.
We share our findings with all 6 retailers. Remember these quality issues?
It's got holes in it.
Zaful apologized for that defect. They and Boohoo say customers can always ask for refunds. Shein and AliExpress say they're working with their third-party suppliers to improve quality. Fashion Nova says they stand by the quality of their products, and no comment from Zulily. Only Shein, Zaful, and AliExpress's items were flagged as toxic or concerning. All say they've pulled the products from their Canadian sites, while they continue to investigate. Zaful says they're recalling that clear tote and giving refunds to customers.
Why, Miriam, are companies still using these chemicals?
It's cheap. It's unfortunately cheap.
Isn't that the story of everything?
Wow, it's amazing.
I just the information in in the toxic levels, if you watch the whole thing, is just mind-boggling. Now, someone said made the comment, New England Dirt Road, he said, and the end user, they lie to you and me, we're always blamed for the rampant pollution of the planet. We're blamed by the elite, who are the ones who created the petroleum-based civilization, and are basically the ones that do the actual polluting and then turn around and blame us, as they fly around in their umpteen jets and yachts and boats and all that, and tell us we shouldn't drive a car. We need to, ride a bike or walk or what have you. Anyway, that being said,
wow.
And hemp would have been a much better clothing product, but they say that the cotton gin, was it, actually came into play before a hemp machine for stripping the hemp, which is rather difficult, but there's so many properties about it that are so much even better than cotton. But what they did when they changed the cannabis laws and used the word marijuana and spread all kinds of lies about it, they took it all off the market, and so no clothing to amount to anything was made as a result of it, and yet it's a far superior product in many ways. So we have this problem. You don't know when you buy your clothes what the level of toxic chemicals are in it. There are certain clothes that you can certainly stay away from, but having something that you can actually wash your clothes with that'll bind those heavy metals and those toxic chemicals is very important, because you just don't know, and you're not going to be able to go get it tested, that kind of thing. But if and here, think about this one. Didn't they used to try to make children's pajamas flame retardant? I can imagine that those are so toxic, it's not even funny. So anyway, we live in a toxic world, and they just keep throwing the poisons at us. And I tell you what, the human body is pretty darn amazing. And this is absolutely true, too. They are deliberately attacking testosterone. They are feminizing the men as much as they possibly can, which is very concerning. And those kind of endocrine disruptors could be a big part of some of the problems that we're seeing with this gender dysphoria, which I don't want to get into, but it's all, a lot of what's happening is done by design.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, Gail. It really is. This is the world we're living in today. But like I said, we're here in 2024, and seem like they're getting worse and worse and worse. They're making clothes looking nice, the fashion and all that stuff, but what they make it with and all the colors, the designs, and when we put it on, it's causing all kind of health problems within us. I mean, it's really sad that human life is being sacrificed for the dollar bill. That's what's going on, and we have to just like over in China. If you get sick in China, the government doesn't fund the doctor no more until you get well. Okay, in America, the doctor don't make any money until you get sick. It's just the opposite here. So what I'm saying, we have to take control of our own health care. You can't wait for someone to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And you can start at a grassroots level, and that's right in your home. Right in your home.
Exactly. They used to say, and I don't know if it still is true or not, they used to say your indoor pollution is really bad. But now, with what they've been spraying the skies with and everything, I don't know if indoors worse than outdoor. But there are things that you can do indoors to clean the air. But also now that you're aware that you need to have organic food. You need to have organic clothing as much as possible. And for the clothing that you don't know, you can wash it with Terra Cleen, which has chelators in it, which will help remove these toxic chemicals, which I really had no idea how high the levels are of certain heavy metals and certain things in a lot of this clothing. And it seems that the cheaper it is, the more toxic it is. So
It's so sad. Yeah. Gail, we had some individuals, they tried to go on the website to register. If you can give them your contact or my contact, and we'll walk these individuals through, give them the website they can go to.
okay. Let me open
register on our web.
I can open that website.
Yes, you can register.
Let me open it.
Yes.
Let me find a home. Okay, here's the Terra Cleen website.
And show them, Gail, where they can go. When you go to shopterraclean.com, you can go where it says traditional products. You guys go to where it says traditional products, and it lists all the companies, not every company, but the major company that we know of. And it talks about the toxins that's in the product and everything. Some states have banned it. Particular company from even doing business in the United States. It's so bad. Some countries have banned it. Some of these countries from companies from doing business overseas. And yet the American public, we're not aware of these things, and we're buying these products every day, and it's causing all kind of problems. And you can go and read about Terra Cleen. It's like I say, it's a wonderful, wonderful product. Up to the top, Gail, it says traditional products.
Traditional household products?
It says household products. And when you guys go on the website, when you go to shopterraclean.com, you'll see all these products, and it lists what's in it. It says they may work, but what's hiding inside the bottle, it's amazing. And we need to make a change right in our homes. We can do that in our homes, and we can replace all these toxic products that people are buying every day. The toxic industry is about 452. The chemical industry is over $452 billion a year. That's what's been sold in our homes and our businesses, and these multi-millionaires, billionaires are making money off of giving us something that's not healthy for us. And we, the people, have to make a change. It starts in every household. You have to make that change. You read about it for yourself. I know when I took my pet to the doctor, as soon as I walked through the door, the first thing I smelled is bleach.
Yeah.
That's what they use. I smell the bleach. And if you can show them how toxic bleach is.
Yeah, I went through this once on one of the first ones we did, but it's amazing that it's registered as a pesticide.
Just blow it up, Gail, so they can all see this. This is amazing. You know what's in it.
That's as big as I can get it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can you read that?
Wait a minute. Where did I lost my spot here? Oh, here we go. Okay, bleach. Danger causes severe eye injuries, can burn the skin, mouth, throat, and stomach. It's a neurotoxin, kidney and liver damage, severe lung damage, reproductive issues, carcinogenic, can be fatal if swallowed. I mean, you can just smell it. And when you're smelling it, you're, it's getting in your lungs. It's getting in your system. Here's another one, 409, or probably a lot of these all-purpose cleaners. And this is something that how you can use this Terra Cleen and have it clean better than these, and not have all the toxic smells and chemicals that you get. I mean, let's face it, you need to wear gloves when you use this kind of stuff, and you don't have to use it. That's the thing. It's just like, as we know, obviously our government's not going to try to protect us. I mean, if you think they are, I don't know what to say, but no. You have to protect yourself. You have to become your own doctor by learning stuff and taking responsibility for your own health, taking responsibility for your own household level of toxins that you want to allow in. And all you have to do is start making some changes, because how were we to know? I mean, we were under the impression that these companies actually, cared enough not to give us such a toxic, highly toxic products like this. You just don't expect it.
And look at the one on Cascade. Go one slide. Cascade.
Oh, Cascade. Oh, yes.
Yes. Look how many states they have banned it. Cascade right here in the United States of America. Will not allow them to sell it in these states. What are some of those states? I can't see.
Did you know the following 16 states have banned phosphate detergents? Washington, Virginia, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Indiana, Wisconsin, Oregon, Utah, New Hampshire, Montana, Vermont. It doesn't surprise me that Arizona is not on the list. Now, I'll tell you what, I didn't think of doing this, but I tried using the Terra Kleen and 2 teaspoons in my dishwasher, and it seemed to work just fine. So that's another place that you can, when it can be used in so many different ways, it can really make it easier for cleaning. And look at Paul Mitchell, moisture shampoo, carcinogenic. And
like I say,
the Johnson's baby lotion, Johnson's baby shampoo, and I think Johnson & Johnson is being sued for their baby powder having asbestos or whatever it had in it. It's just, and this is another whole area of great concern in cosmetics. They're finding, it's just amazing. So all these things can be replaced with one product that is safe, that is organic, that is biodegradable, and it doesn't have a bad smell, and it cleans quite nicely. I've been impressed. I really have.
Yes, and all we're trying to do is just bring awareness to you guys. I was very blessed 3 years ago to run across the gentleman who formulated this product, and that's all we use in our home is this wonderful product, Terra Kleen. Do everything with this one product. It's a universal product. Of course, there's certain dilution ratios you have to do, but it's on the website how to break it down. If you want to do your laundry, what you do when you want to clean your glass, when you want to do your carpeting, wash your dishes, do floors, and pressure wash your house, and it even repels and mildew and mold. It gets rid of it. This product. I don't want to get too much away from the cleaning, the clothing, all that, but I just want you guys to know that we're trying to bring awareness, and this is a one-stop shop. It does everything. It's all natural. You can go to the website. You see the website where you can go. You can register. If you have any questions, you give us a call. In fact, you can go and register and get you a site. And it don't cost you anything just to register for free, then shop around and see what you want. And we have all these products available for you. And we're just trying to, I want to thank Gail.
I'm sorry.
I want to thank you for this show to bring awareness to so many people about what they're bringing into their home, what they're using on a daily basis, and that we can provide a solution for them.
Oh, here's somebody said, Q-Face says that I don't even think they, wait a minute. I don't even think they work, those products. I only use natural products with essential oils, baking soda, etc. I have used baking soda and vinegar a couple of times, which is is helpful too. But this is a really nice product that works for a lot of stuff. And yes, flame retardant stuff. If there's an odor to whatever it is that you're purchasing, whether it be a purse, whether it be a piece of clothing or whatever, if it smells, it's toxic. You can pretty much bank on that. And I do have, or I did have my link, and I'd appreciate it if you use my link for Terra Kleen. And I don't know if anyone has even bought any yet, but I really think you'd find it worth your while to give it a try. I think it works very, very well. So let me see. Oh, let's do this one. I think we got some audience participation. I always appreciate that a lot, guys. I love it when you do that. New England Dirt Roadie says he visited his parents in New York City at Christmas and accidentally walked into Macy's, and right in front door was the perfume department. Oh my God, it was like walking into a cloud of World War I mustard gas. I mean, some of those potent, those smells like perfumes are bad that way too. You're much better off with essential oil when it comes to something like that. Yep.
But you know what I heard, Gail, which was it blew my mind. I heard that the perfume industry, and it's going to sound gross, everyone, but what I just heard from a reliable source. You can do your research yourself. You know how toilet water smells? It has a smell to it. They tell me that the perfume industry, some of these companies use toilet water to put perfume because the toilet water holds the odor long, which means the perfume would smell better longer because it has the toilet water attached to it. Now, you guys can do your own research on it for yourself. That's why I'm very careful what kind of perfume goes on my body. It sounds gross, but that's what I heard.
Well, they do some pretty unbelievable things. They have creams that have body parts in them from fetuses and so on. So it's really disgusting. And a lot of that is done intentionally. I hate to say it, but so anyway, this is the website to look for. And it's probably universal, organic, environmentally safe, and it's a multi-purpose cleaner. So you can use it for everything. You don't need anything else. And again, your clothes, who would have guessed they have so many chemicals in our clothes? But they are trying to depopulate. Anybody that doesn't see that isn't awake. So, yeah, some shared the same about the perfumes. Well, is there anything else, Frank? I mean, I think this is a wonderful product, and I hope you try it. I think you will. I think you'll be happy with it. I really do. And it is safe, and that's what really matters. So.
Yes, and I like for everyone to go to that website that Gail showed, inform yourself, read it, go under where it says dilution ratios, all the different usage for this product. Go to where it says traditional products that we talked about earlier. Go to where it says applications. You just go there and inform yourself. And I will assure you this one thing. You're never going to find a product that does so many things more than Terra Kleen. There's nothing on the earth. In fact, Terra Kleen can solve the environmental problem that we have in our world today in every aspect. You can clean up oil spills with it. Like a lot of fires in California. I talked with the owner of this company. He said they have put Terra Kleen inside of helicopters, airplanes, and where there's wildfires, and it goes and it just go there and put the fires out. It does so many things. Just go on the website, inform yourself. The numbers on the website, you guys need to give us a call. Go to shopterrakleen.com. Make sure you register up on the Gail's link, And there are some rewards that you can get when you become a member, where in the future you can be able to buy the Terra Clean without having to come out your pocket when you join our rewards program. But the main thing I want to share today is about this 100% biodegradable product. Inform yourself, get in touch with us, get in touch with Gail, send an email, whatever you need to do, get in touch so that you and I can become a solution to the problem and stop adding to the problem by buying all these toxic products where these multi-billionaires are racking up off of the health of the individuals that is not informed about what to do about the cleaning solution. So I'm happy to be here Gail, and it's exciting.
You made a good point about not contributing to the problem, because when you use things like bleach or 409 or those different toxic products, you not only are you breathing them and exposing whatever you touch with them, but then you rinse it down the sink and it gets into the water, it gets into the wastewater, it gets into the soil, it gets into the planet. And we really need to clean up our planet. And that being said, I think we covered quite a bit today. And there is something out there that can take the toxins, chelate the toxins out of your clothes, and because that's what it takes. But watch out for those stinky items that they have that are for sale real cheap. There's always a reason why it's real cheap, and it's usually not to your benefit. So,
someone is asking for your link. So what is your
link is on the screen. It is shopterraclean.com/? ref REF =, capital T, capital K 431. I could put it in the chat if you want me to.
Yes.
If that makes it any easier. And then I will.
And please, ladies and gentlemen, inform yourself on, and it's very affordable. Terra Clean is very, very affordable. And that's the link. Copy that link. Inform yourself.
Yeah, and it's just remember, you can use it for so many different things. And there's different dilutions. So you can use it, some things, a quarter strength, half strength, full strength, just depending on what you're doing. But all of that is listed on the website under dilutions and solutions and so on. So
that's correct.
Alrighty. There's a link, and I think when I put this up, I'll put the link and pin it too. And thank you too, Faye. Thank you everyone for participating and being here. And fortunately, I can talk sometimes. Anyway, is there anything else you want to add, Frank?
No, if they have any questions, we're here. All the information on the website. When you go in to contact us to the bottom, if you can call me, if you guys want to order, then I'll make sure that we want to help Gail out on this radio show. We want to support her. So when you all shop Terra Clean, it's gonna help the radio show. It's just gonna be a blessing, not only to the radio show, but it's gonna be a blessing to your household. I want you to get the word out to all of your friends and about this wonderful product called Terra Clean. So thank you, Gail, for allowing me to share, and thank those that are listening today for your questions and all your concerns. I just want you to know we're here to serve you. We love what we're doing. We're a community-based nonprofit organization, and we just want to make a difference, not just talk the talk, but we want to walk the walk.
That's right. And I have to say that they do shadow ban my shows because I bring you truthful and good information that they really don't want you to know, it seems. So it helps if you like, share, and subscribe. So please do that. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you.
And don't forget Terra Kleen.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now. Don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, fighting our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on